My name is Ambrose, as Maureen said. I'm with the Canadian Published Authors Group. On Tuesday, the entire Caribbean and anyone in the literary circle celebrated Caribbean Literature Day. And we are going to commemorate the day by having an activity on Saturday with a book launch by an author from St. Vincent called N.C. Marks. And she just published her book, Children of the Ash. On the heels of the volcanic eruption in St. Vincent, was that last year? I think it was last year. So I'm going to read a couple of poems from that book. Unfortunately, she couldn't make it because of travel issues. It's really hard to get into Grenada now, from anywhere in the Caribbean. You have to go to the States to come back to the Caribbean if you want to leave from another territory to get to Grenada. So sometime after Carnival, she's going to come in. So I'm going to read a couple of poems from her book. I'm also going to read an excerpt from one of my books. I've published 4 books so far. I'm going to read from my book, That Time in Burgos. So, first from Children of the Ash. So many ways. I didn't know there were so many ways to describe a volcanic eruption, but let's say this one is called Striptease. Slowly, she undressed for the cameras, strutting to her own melody, shed majestic green dress behind bridal veil, then covered with brown scarf, yellow perfume stained with the fabric. She sets it on fire. Red hot evening dress sparkled in the night sky. Electric waistband dazzled. Hot flashes became unbearable. She pulled dress over her head, showed off her earthen black nakedness. She keeps her poem short, eh? Which is nice. Sky curtains. The sky changed its blue curtains. Smoky veil displayed nature's hand ripped deep down inside Earth's interior design for bolts of molten fabric. Red alert machine blasted material to the bustling sky. Terror drapes hung surreal. The dark spread plummeted back to earth. Sky remnants wrapped the land in her burial dress. Sky curtains. I know Natasha obviously could have performed this much better. This one I like. Me nah move from red zone. Me nah move forward. At the same sky over all of we head. For me move, the sky will have to drop down and no more other day. Run to town? For what? Who go take care of my animals them? Me experience suffer last time. Me not been move forward. Me have to dead one of these days. If I suffer for kill me, well, what do you do? When you're dead, you're dead. All me know is me nah move. Move forward. Thank you. So, this is my second book, That Time in Burgos. That Children of the Ash was in St. Vincent. This one is in Carriacou. My first book is called White Spice, a crime thriller set in Grenada. This story, That Time in Burgos, is set in Carriacou. So I'm going to read a short excerpt. My other 2 books include Zone 1, set in Grand Anse, and what's the other one? The Kayak Tourist. The Kayak Tourist, one I did for children this year. So, this excerpt is about the Tombstone Feast in Carriacou, which is a celebration of the erection of a tombstone of a deceased family member a couple of years after the member has passed. So in the celebration, a lot of music, dancing, just making merry. So I'm going to pick it up after the string band has finished playing and the big drum is about to start. Big drum is a big thing in Caribbean. Several minutes later, drums replaced the stringed instruments, and the crowd rearranged itself to form a circle facing inwards. Tantan, Concheril, and two other Bogus elders danced to the center of the ring with bottles. They're going and wet the ground again, Daniel said confidently. Popeye, you're getting to know the thing, Elijah said, grinning. The foursome poured rum and water alternately on the ground, uttering words that Daniel still couldn't understand. He deduced that they were again calling out to the ancestors and spirits. Tanti and them come in and dance now, Elijah announced after the invocations. Tanti and three middle-aged women gamboled bare feet to the center of the yard to the slow beat of the drums. Daniel was surprised to see Elisha among the three drummers. His open palm struck the goatskin surface of his bass drum in perfect sync with the other bass drummer. Ruth and the other girl shook shak-shaks energetically to the established rhythm. Long shot playing the bula drum, man, Elijah said to his cousin. Sometimes I just play the cutter drum too. He pointed to the largest drum in the middle of the trio. Tanti looked even taller with her green and yellow head wrap. A multicolored winged skirt covered the bottom half of her dress. The floral pattern of the skirt reminded Daniel of the red, pink, and purple bougainvillea flowers around his house in Grenada. All four ladies wore matching costumes. Soon the intensity of the drumming increased. A few ladies standing behind the drummers clapped and chanted as the dancers stepped, skipped, and strutted for a few minutes in the ring. The choreographed dancing and rhythmic drumming hypnotized Daniel until he thought he was in a trance. One singer would throw out a line, then the others in the group would respond in a chorus. The language was unfamiliar to Daniel. He made a mental note to ask his mother if kayaks speak other languages besides English. Then Tanti was left alone to do a solo act. She took up a spot in front of Elisha, who pounded his drum while focusing on his mother's feet. The bass seemed to reach out on his own to move them. "Whoa!" Daniel exclaimed. "That's sick, boy." He nodded in approval, and his eyes bulged as they fixed on his aunt's feet, moving in perfect cadence to her son's drumming. Tanti flared her skirt as she skipped from right foot to left, revealing its shiny inner fabric. At times, her upper body hung parallel to the ground before she would rock back upright to the boom of the bula. She shimmied and shook her hips and head in quick time to the drumming. A roar went up from the audience as her slim figure twirled 6 times while the drumming rose to a crescendo. She suddenly leapt in the air, then dropped to a crouched position in the center of the circle, her head bowed. The drums fell silent. The spectators erupted in cheers, applause, and whistles. "Popeye, this is the best big drum dancing I ever see," Daniel said, breathing heavily. He had never seen big drum dancing in his life. Thank you. So an excerpt from that time in Google. You can always get copies from me. Thanks for listening.